Hey everyone, Cash here, back with another video from FIFA 16, and we are finally here. We have one more match to play, and then it is transfer window time. Excitement at an all-time high, as this is going to be our first opportunity to make changes to this lineup. You see the January window. We do have quite a few games to deal with in these first couple weeks. We will see that FA Cup game in this episode, but then those last couple weeks of January will give us a great opportunity to really work at bringing in some new transfers. So here we go. This may be the last match you ever see with this lineup. We are currently in 6th. Southampton just behind us. You see their lineup here. Would be great to earn a victory in this last match before the end of this first part of the season. And we get into this one, Valencia in the game. We're giving some guys some opportunities kind of as a last look. Obviously, on top of bringing in some new players, we may be selling some, as Moses the opportunity in the shot. Koyate had the wide open net. How do you not put that one in, son? But here, it's going to be Southampton with the cross in. It's going to be cleared out. Agbana Abayang, he's going to get it taken away from Klase, and he's going to put it into the back of the net. What a poor play there. We could not get the ball out. Valencia now into Koyate. He's going to pass it to Sacco. The nice ball into Valencia, but he's kind of one-footed shot that one. Poor shot attempt by him. But so we're playing some of the guys that maybe don't play as often. Get one final look and see maybe, do we want to hold on to some of these guys? If they have value, ooh, nice shot from Koyate there. If they have any value, are they guys we maybe want to sell? Because on top of buying players, we don't have a obviously unlimited as Henry. What a rip here. Don't know how he does not score that, but we don't have unlimited funds. So if we're going to want to get some of these players that we need, we may have to sell some guys. So obviously changes soon coming. Noble with the steal here. Can we get a goal in the final seconds? Carroll, no. What a horrible pass. What is that, Andy? And that is going to end. We lose 1-0. Player of the game. In this one, going to be easy. We're just going to give it to Sacco, highest rated. We had a game like that in our last episode. Nothing special happened, so we're going to go highest rated. He'll get our Hammer Award, and now we'll move on here. But before we get to the transfer window, injury news. Emil Fultano suffers a torn hamstring, out 6 weeks. So another guy we will be without. But now let's do this. On to the transfer window. First, let's take a look at our current squad, and this is what we're kind of looking at. I think we need to work on our outside of our back line. Jenkinson is a lone player. Cresswell, just a 74. Can upgrade that position. Moving up, Song is a lone player as well, although I'd kind of hope to wrap him up and bring him back for next year. Obiang just a 75. We really haven't had anyone else step up in that middle of the field with Payet. And then up top, obviously, I'd like to maybe upgrade that. Zarate has played well, but maybe we can get someone to improve and really get us that goal scorer up front. So now looking at selling players at values, you see Jenkinson, Moses, and Song are our loanees, so we can't do anything with them. Payet, 18 million, but obviously we're not getting rid of him. Andy Carroll, 11.5. This is an interesting name and an interesting value. We are going to list him for transfer. That amount of money, we could definitely use that elsewhere for a guy that doesn't really play that often. And then you see our current budget is going to be sitting at about 47 million, which seems like a lot, but I'll tell you it isn't a whole lot, because that's going to run out very quickly, as you'll see here as we take a look at my short list. So I have been scouting players this entire season, and this is what I have. I was looking at goalies, but I don't think we're going to be signing one since we signed Adrian to a new contract. We're not going to really be able to afford another goalie, especially with some of the other holes that we need to fill. So I'll leave these guys on here, and maybe the end of the season into next year we'll maybe upgrade our goalie position. But you see some of the guys that I have been looking at. Bernd Leno, Hugo Lloris, Marc-Andre ter Stegen, those three guys, that's obviously very good. But there's some other options here, Timo Horn and Karius, that are cheaper and also very good overall and very young. I have tried to kind of skew this a little bit towards younger players, a little bit higher potential, and normally a little bit lower value as well that they can come in. So moving into the right backs, we have Callum Chambers from Arsenal, Kyle Walker, DeAndre Yedlin, a very cheap, very pacey player. Fabinho, a AS Monaco player, 11.5 million. That's a very, not a decent price for a right back there. Definitely would improve our right back position. And then we'll move as we go down here. Hector Bellerin, another Arsenal right back. He only 5 million. You got him at 5. Callum Chambers at 3.3. Very cheap options for us. And then we have a couple of center backs. John Brooks, An American there playing for Hertha. I don't think we're going to be touching the middle of our back line. We're pretty solid there with Reed and Agbana, so we're not going to worry too much about Brooks there. But then moving to the left backs, Wendell. This is a guy I am very interested in. 22 years old, 77 overall, 87 acceleration, and just $9.5 million in value. Then we have Luke Shaw, the Manchester player, $14 million. Then we're moving up here into CDM. Only one CDM. We have Geese, $13.5 million, 79 overall. Interested in him, but for that value in that position, we might not be able to touch that position or him in this window. Then moving into the rest of the midfielders, on the right mid, we have Ricardo Horta, just $5.5 million. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, $15 million. Yaya Toure, $27 million. I threw him on here, but I don't think realistically we are going to be getting him, so I'm going to end up taking him off the short list. Then we have Yuri Tielemans, the youngster, 18 years old, 76 overall, just $11 million in value. We're definitely going to try and go after him, but I don't know if Anderlecht is going to let us get away with him for $11 million. Then we have left mid Danny Ceballos, $6.5 million, 19 years old, a very quality player. But again, with the money we have to work with and the positions we need, I don't know if we're going to touch either outside midfielders. So then we move up to the cam. We have Hakan Çalhanoğlu. This guy, an absolute beast, $15 million in value. You already know he's a ridiculous free kick taker, so we're going to try and maybe check him out a little bit. Then moving to the front line, we have Sebastian Giovinco, $18 million. I was surprised to see his value up there at $18 million. Then we have Inaki Williams, who is a right winger but can play striker, and he's just $5.5 million. Then we have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. This is a guy I am very interested in. I know he is $26.5 million, but we're going to try and get him. Then we have Gassi Zardes. He is a guy running out on his contract. Iheanacho is also out on his contract as well, so we're going to try and see if we can work some things with those two. We have Harry Kane, Charlie Austin. His contract is expiring as well, so he's always an option for us to just go out and sign on a free contract. Then we have Nabil Fekir, 79 overall, 22 years old. That is a very quality striker there and not too expensive, $15.5 million. Then we rounded out Sturridge, 31.5. Can't believe he was that much. We're probably not going to attempt to go after him. And then we have Danny Welbeck to round it out at $14.5 million. So very first move we're going to try and make, I said I'm going to try and shore up that back line. We're going to go after Kyle Walker, 14.6 to 17.3. We're going to just start off low ball him super hard, $10 million, just to see what they come back with. His value is 11.5. Obviously, he's a first-team player, so that's not going to be near enough. Next, we're going to move on to Fabinho, $11.5 million as well, 14 to 17, pretty much the same. And we're going to do the same, $10 million. We'll see what Monaco comes back with. Now we're going to move on to Wendell. This is a guy I'm very interested in, and this is a little bit better. 9.5 value, 11.9 to 14. We're going to go with 9, see what they come back with. I think we might be able to work something out here for him because they shouldn't come back with too much. Now on to Tielemans, 11 million. They're saying 13.8 to 16.2. We're going to go with 9. Again, we're starting this out. This is the very first day of the transfer window, so no point starting out too high. And then Çalhanoğlu, no point even lowballing him as 18 to 22. That's not a position of super need, so we're just going to leave him alone for now. Then Aubameyang, this is a guy I said, this is really, I think, our number one target. I'd really love to have him, but 26.5 million value, 33 to 39. That might not be possible, so we're going to leave him alone for now. Harry Kane, 13 million. But they only have, I think they literally only have 2 strikers, maybe 3, so he might be hard to get. Danny Welbeck, 18 to 22. Surprised his value is up that high, so we're going to leave him alone. Inaki Williams, 5.5. This is right in our wheelhouse, and actually, we may be able to get him for under his value, so we're going to put an offer in for him. And then we get an offer for Adrian from West Brom, 11 million. But, as I said, we're really not going to probably go after a goalie, so we need to try and keep him as long as we can. Obviously, if someone just blows us away, and we'll see if we keep getting offers for him, maybe we throw something out there crazy like 20 million or something to see if we can get it. But now we have to play the opener of our FA Cup, and this one I'm showing you in one highlight because this is what the game came down to. A off the post free kick from Zarate. This game an absolute snoozer, a 0-0 draw, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're going to move on from this one back to the transfer window, as that was a slight detour, but we're back at it now. Transfer offer unacceptable for Inaki Williams. They want 4.6. Still something that we can work with. Offer rejected for Wendell, so we're going to have to go. Obviously, that was too low. We're going to have to do that again. Same thing with Fabinho. So we're going to move Wendell. 9 million. They want 11.9. Let's go up to 10. 10.5 maybe. Will that work for them? Yeah, let's try 10.5. See if they bite at that. Then for Fabinho, 14.6. We offered 10 the first time, so let's kick that up a couple million, see if that comes back with anything. And then we are going to attempt to grab Iheanacho. He's in the last 6 months of his contract, and they're saying we could get him for 527,000 to $1 million on the value of 1.6. So we're going to try and steal him for Manchester City. I don't know if that will work. And you see we get more offers for Adrian. Again, 11 million though, so we're going to pass on that, Stuttgart. No thank you. We're not going to reject all offers yet, just in case we need the money later on and we can work something out where we can get a bunch of money for him. And then we see Kyle Walker, unacceptable. They want $22.5 million. Are you kidding me? So we are going to not be touching Kyle Walker. So now we have to start looking out to our Hector Bellerin, 74.5 million. We're going to try and get him for 4, much cheaper than 22 million for Kyle Walker. Did not expect them to come back with that amount of money. And then Tielemans, 21 million. This I kind of expected, and we had so much optimism going into this transfer window, but it's suddenly kind of falling apart as we may not be able to get some of the players we want. And then even worse, Everton is going after Fabinho as well. They're offering 15.5, so we're going to have to bump our offer up. They are right in that middle of that range, 14.6 to 73, but I don't know if we can pay that amount of money for him, especially if we can just get Bellerin for 4, so we'll bump it up a little bit. Now looking at Çalhanoğlu, since we're missing out on Tielemans and some of these other guys, let's finally send him an offer, or let's send Bayer Leverkusen an offer. We're going to start at 15 million, see what kind of things that brings, 3 million under his value. And we see Chelsea signs Jerome Boateng for 85 million. Wow. It's nearly double our budget. But looking here, we have a transfer offer. Manchester United calling for Andy Carroll. We value him at 11. They're offering 9.5. That's obviously not enough. We would love to sell him, though, because we need every penny we can get. So let's counter, and I don't know. Let's go obviously a little bit above. Maybe they really want him and will overpay. So let's go 12 million. We're going to start here, see what they come back with. I'd take 12. I'd take his value at 11 because that 11 million will go a long ways for us. That could buy us a whole nother player. And then look at this. We have a offer accepted. Wendell is good to go, 10.5 million. So I think that was still even under what the executive had suggested to pay for him. It is more than his value, but this guy immediately going to slide into that left back position, 77 overall. Offer him a contract. We'll see what he says back, but unfortunately we've simulated to another game. We're not going to play this game. So this is where we're going to end here. Unfortunate that no moves were actually made. We didn't sell anybody. We didn't buy anybody. Obviously, though, we're ending this with a couple things in the works. Are we going to sell Andy Carroll? Are we going to be able to get Wendell in? Who else are we going to bring in? You'll see more from the transfer window in the next episode. As I said in the last episode, let me know in the comments down below who you'd like me to go after, who you think we could get, who are maybe some names that I haven't noticed that would be some value transfer, some cheaper players to buy that would maybe be pretty good here in the near future. So let me know down below if you have anything. Otherwise, that's going to be it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and give it a like. I would really appreciate it. And subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.